I found out about the party from a photo someone else posted. My mother standing in a kitchen I'd walked through in drywall dust 3 months earlier. My father lifting a glass of champagne beneath recessed lighting I had paid to install. The caption read, "Finally, ours." There was a warmth to the picture. Friends gathered around the island, a cheese board. My parents glowing in that way people do when they feel they've arrived somewhere permanent. I zoomed in on the background, without meaning to, the hardwood floors, the staircase railing, the small chip on the 3rd step that I'd noticed during inspection. It was my house, legally entirely mine. I didn't call them right away. That would have been my old reflex. Immediate clarification, soft voice, reassurance that I wasn't upset, but I wasn't sure what I was exactly. It wasn't fury. It was something flatter, like discovering you'd been edited out of your own biography. The arrangement had been simple. They'd found the house. They couldn't qualify for the mortgage. I could. We told ourselves it was temporary, a stepping stone. My name would be on the deed for now. They would take over eventually. I signed because it felt easier than saying no. 3 months later, there was a housewarming party I hadn't been invited to. I drove over without rehearsing a speech. I didn't even know if I would go inside. I just wanted to stand in front of it and see if it felt different. It did. Cars lined the curb. Laughter spilled through the open front windows. The porch light cast that warm, welcoming glow people use in real estate photos. When I walked in, no one stopped me. Why would they? I was family. A few guests nodded politely, trying to place me. My mother saw me first. Her smile flickered. Surprise quickly reshaped into hospitality. "Oh, you came." I waited for the follow-up. "There wasn't one. I was in the neighborhood," I said. It wasn't true, but it felt like a harmless lie. My father appeared from the hallway, wine in hand. His posture tightened, but only slightly. He clapped my shoulder like I'd shown up early to something I'd misunderstood. "Good to see you," he said. The kitchen looked different, finished and staged. The same cabinets I'd initialed in a showroom now held crystal glasses. The island where I'd reviewed closing documents held brie and olives. I wandered toward the hallway, not to snoop, just to breathe. That's when I heard him, my father's voice, lower, relaxed in the way people speak. When they assume privacy, well, what's done is done. "You bought it, but it's ours now." A soft chuckle followed, not cruel, casual. The words landed heavier because of that, not defiance, not gratitude either, just assumption. I stood there longer than necessary, waiting for something inside me to ignite. It didn't. Instead, there was a quiet click, like a lock turning from the inside. I walked back into the kitchen. My mother intercepted me near the small office, the hallway, the room I'd intended as a study, when I toured the property. "Oh, that room's a bit messy," she said lightly, positioning herself between me and the doorway. "We're hosting tonight." "We're hosting, not we, just them." "I know," I said. "I won't stay long." She searched my face for irritation she could manage. I didn't give her any. The thing is, I hadn't come entirely unprepared. A week earlier, when I saw the listing photo framed on their mantle, the one with the caption about permanence, I'd called Daniel, the property attorney who handled the purchase. Not angrily, logistically, what happens? I'd asked if occupants start presenting ownership publicly. He hadn't laughed. "Lawyers rarely do. Nothing happens automatically," he'd said. But clarity is always better than assumption, so before driving over, I texted him. "Are you available for a brief call this evening?" He replied yes. I set my glass down on the island. "Dad," I said, not loudly, just enough to fold him into the room's awareness. "Quick question." He looked up. "For insurance purposes, are you planning to formalize occupancy, or are we still keeping it informal?" The word insurance has a way of quieting a room. He blinked. "What do you mean?" "I mean liability. If someone slips tonight, it's technically on me." A few guests shifted subtly. My mother laughed brightly. "Oh, don't be dramatic." I didn't raise my voice. "I'm not. I just need to know if we're signing a lease." Silence moved differently now. It wasn't festive. My father set his glass down more carefully than necessary. "This isn't the time." "It actually is," I said, "because you're presenting this as your property." His jaw tightened. "It is our home." "Yes," I said gently. "But it's my asset." I pulled my phone from my pocket and placed it on speaker. Daniel answered on the second ring. I kept it simple. "Could you clarify current ownership of the property on Maple Ridge?" He didn't hesitate. "The property is titled solely in your name. Any long-term occupancy without written agreement